Welcome back to my Total Gym series. So today we're going to be focused on the back, diddly-yak back. I'm not even sure why I said that. Forget whoever saw that or heard it. Okay. Anyway, so we're focusing on the back. So what we're going to do is look at these superficial muscles of the back. So these are the traps. Everybody knows the traps. They start across the top of the neck here and go down to the centre. Then you underneath the scapula, you've got the big latissimus dorsi, just here each side. Okay. Then either side, then just under the traps, about midway down from the nape of the neck, and run down to the bottom of the scap there or thereabouts. You've got the major and minor rhomboids just here. Now there are a lot more muscles in the back than that. Okay, but if you focus on these three areas, you'll hit all the other muscle groups as well in the back if you do them correctly. So let's stop messing about, let's get started. Now what I like to do when I do my back, or I just go into a compound movement or multi-joint movement for my back, I like to do a single joint movement, okay? And the reason for that is I like to pre-exhaust the back just a little bit, because the back's quite a strong muscle group, but the bicep, when you're doing a pulling exercise, are not as strong as the back, and they could fatigue before the back does. So what you do, you pre-fatigue the back a little bit, just so the biceps can keep up with them, okay? So what I'm going to do now, but all I'm going to do is a front pull down. That's pretty much it, okay? So what you do, you've got your handles, lay on your bench, okay? Just here, and you keep your arms straight. Okay, there. And that's where you want to have your arms. And what you do then, and you keep your chest just off the bench here, because what you want to do is come down and squeeze at the top, just there. Okay, squeeze down to the side and back down nice and easy, keeping the arms straight. Okay, and try not to have your chest flat on the bench. Just have it up like that, so it really focuses on that lat. And right there you can feel it, get that mind muscle connection, okay? Make sure you're feeling it right at that lat there, okay? And back down. The next one we're going to do is pretty much similar to a barbell row. Okay, so what you're doing, you're pulling it to about bottom to mid chest height here, and you're keeping your elbows just up slightly, okay? Coming in, pulling up like that, and there. And this is going to hit the mid to upper part of the traps, and also you're going to get some lat activation as well and rear delt. But the main part is that rear trap. Now the trick is with this, okay, is when you're coming back on a back exercise, too many backs in that, but when you're coming back on a back exercise, it's important that when you come here, you try and squeeze that scapula together. A lot of people don't do that. They come here and stop and don't squeeze the scapula together. So almost like you're trying to get the two scapula to touch each other, just here. And also what you want to do when you come back is come here and you pause for a split second before you go back down, okay? Just demonstrate that now. So from here, hold your stomach in nice and tight, pulling back, squeezing back, pausing just that split second, and back nice and easy. Come in, squeeze, and back nice and easy. And then you'll really feel that in the back then. When you squeeze that, squeeze them scapula together, push your chest out, pull them scaps together, and pause and back down, okay? And just relax the back as it comes forward. So what do you do there then, from there, if you want to hit the lats and the trapezius a little bit lower down, you turn the hand inwards so your palms are facing each other. So we initially had the palms facing down, now they're facing each other, okay, in a neutral position. So again, the same position, and exactly the same movement. You're coming here, squeezing, and back down. Squeezing, pause, and back down. Now you notice what I'm doing here. I'm not using fast movements or momentum, okay? Because if I let myself pull forward, what's happening is my lower back is pulling them cables with me, okay? So it's actually assisting me to get the momentum to pull it back here, okay? So if I let it pull me forward, and I do this, can you see my arms are not even moving, and I'm moving the cable. So if I let it go forward, and then pull, okay? And you see a lot of this in gyms when people are using cable machines. They use too much momentum, and there's not enough focus on that area you want to work, okay? So keep your back nice and rigid, come up, squeeze and back down. Now, so that's very similar to a dumbbell row. So what you could do then is, again, you can do this with a barbell, is you put the arms palms up, okay? So from there, palms up, and you're coming in, squeeze it, and that'll hit really quite low on the back. Yeah, I can really feel that, that's good. And I'm pulling to right down to the bottom of the chest here, okay? Bottom of the rib cage. So now what you want to do is put your attachments on for the pull-up. So I've attached my handles here. Now some people say, oh, they're not wide enough. I find, personally myself, unless you're really tall, got really long arms, just outside shoulder width is fine. So that's perfect, okay? You don't need to go super wide like some people say. That's my personal opinion. And I have to say that Dorian Yates agrees with me, of course. The 6 times Mr. Olympia. Oh, I agree with him, possibly. Anyway, so don't worry that you're not too wide. You don't have to go super wide when you're doing a pull-up. Now, the mistake people make with a pull-up, when they're doing lat pull-downs, or pull-ups on a bar, or pull-ups on a total gym, they tend to pull down, okay, just get myself the right position in the camera, pull down here, and pull to the chest, and then pull back, okay? So they pull down, pull to the chest and back. Now, when you bring your elbows back here like this, you're turning that pull down into a row, okay? You don't want to do that. You want to really focus on these lats. And if you put your hand here and pull down, okay, and then go back, you can see the lats disappearing because you're bringing in more muscle, different muscle groups, okay? You're bringing in more trap and rhomboid activation by doing that, okay? So you pull down and make sure your elbows go in towards the hip. I'll demonstrate that on the total gym now. So you lay on your bench here, okay? And from here then, what I'm doing, coming all the way down, and I'm putting up, and I want to get my clavicle really up to the bar. That's why I want my chin over that bar if I can, okay? So coming up here, and that's where I want to be, just here. And back down. And then can you see where my elbows are? In line with my hip. Pausing at the top, squeezing, mind to muscle connection. And what mind to muscle, people get confused with this, mind to muscle connection. Just feel the muscles that you're supposed to be working. We want to hit the lat, and that's where you want to feel most of the tension. So when they start to get sore and fatigued when you come into your last rep, that's where you should feel it. Not in any other muscle, well, maybe some other muscle groups, but that's the main one. Okay? Now I don't want to do this. See my elbows coming up? Okay? It's going off the lat. Keep them elbows in line with the hip. There, nice and easy. Coming up, chin above the bar, to the clavicle, top of the clavicle there, collarbone, and back down. And a pause at the top. Squeeze, yeah, that mind to muscle connection. Oh, I can really feel that, it's really good. So if you want to hit your back slightly differently, you can turn a pull-up into a chin-up, and that'll hit the lat in a slightly different position, okay? So again, same thing, but this time your palms are facing upwards towards the ceiling. And all you're doing is coming up, exactly the same, you're pulling towards your hip, so your elbows in line with your hip here, chin above the bar, back down. Obviously with this one, you're going to get a bit more bicep activation, but you are also working that lat. Or lats, there's two of them, not one. Coming in, squeeze, there, and back. Okay, and that's the chin up. So that's the pull up, that's the chin up. The last exercise I'm going to demonstrate is the shoulder shrug. Now, you can do shoulder shrugs if you want. Is it necessary? Not all the time. Okay, if you think your shoulders, your top of your traps are underdeveloped, then by all means stick a shoulder shrug in. But here's the caveat, okay? when you do any shoulder exercise, whether it be upright row, shoulder press or side lateral raise, okay, your traps are heavily involved in their movements. And just to give yourself a demonstration, right, put your hand on top of your trap just here. Go on, do it. No, I can see you're not doing it, do it. Right, thank you. Obviously with a weight in your hand, you need to go and get a weight now, hurry up. So obviously with a weight in your hand, or you want some resistance, you can try it on your total gym as well, that when you come up to here, you'll feel your trap is heavily activated, okay? And the same, you try it with a barbell or on your total gym, you pull up like this, okay? And remember, when you're doing an upright row, do it correctly. Don't do upright rows with the hands close together and elbows first, otherwise you're going to pop your shoulders out. No! Okay, arms nice and wide, coming up, elbows first, to about parallel to the floor. Okay, so when you're doing an upright row, you can feel it there. Okay, when you're doing an overhead press or military press, shoulder press, whatever you want to call it, when you're pushing up, you can feel your upper trap activated in their movements. It's a bit like the anterior delt. The anterior delt used a lot in other movements, things like bench press, dips. Think of many different variations of bench press you do. So you do a flat bench, an incline bench, a decline bench, okay, a fly, a dip, okay, and that anterior delt involved in all those exercises. And then you go and do front raises. Duh, okay, you're just going to overwork that anterior delt. There's no need to do it. There's no need to do that front raise, unless they're really underdeveloped, which is very, very rare, okay? And the same goes for the upper trap. So by all means, if you think you want to add a little bit more work, but just keep an eye on the development of the upper trap, and if you feel it's not growing at all, then stop doing them, especially if it's getting a little bit smaller and weaker. Okay, anyway, I'm blabbering on. Let me show you the exercise. And move it away from the sink a little bit. Okay. So you grab it here, okay, so you want to have your hands in neutral position. Come to the top of the bench here, you need to lie back, okay, just take it easy, lie back here, okay, arms up, and what you want to do is basically shrug your shoulders. So you're trying to get your shoulders to touch your ears. You're not going to do it unless you've got really wide shoulders, very small head and very long ears. It's not going to happen, okay? So you're coming up, squeezing at the top, and back down. Coming up, squeeze in, and back down. Squeeze, oh, and back down. Now, here's a little tip for you. You see people doing this, they use too heavy a weight, especially when you see people in the gym. You can point and laugh at them if you want. Don't tell them I told you to do that though, okay? They get a too heavy a weight, okay, and what they do, they go, okay, and they're giving their biceps a much harder workout than their traps. So keep their arms almost dead straight, what you call a soft elbow. So what you do, you just keep the arm slightly bent. You don't want to lock that elbow out to keep your elbow joint safe. So basically you're coming down, I've got to go back down now. Arms to the side, palms facing in, okay? So very slight bend, and what it is, that's a fixed position now. The only thing that's moving is your shoulders up and down. It's only a small movement, okay? You don't need, it doesn't, what I think what people think is, when they're going too heavy or they feel they're not moving as much, so they tend to bring the arms too much into it, okay? Leave the arms where they are, use that shoulder shrug, okay? Okay, and that's my back workout on the total gym. Thanks for watching. Please help me out and subscribe to my channel. Come on, you know you need to. For more of these videos, come on, hit that subscribe button and ping that bell. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.